Okay, and welcome back. If you're joining us once again, we ran into a bit of a problem. There we go. We had broken away temporarily from our last broadcast, but something went wrong with the stream, so I had to reacquire the stream and restart it. So that's what we're doing right now. I'm just going to check some settings to make sure everything is working as it should be, and hopefully we'll just continue right on as we get from our last position. You shouldn't notice anything missing or different about this broadcast whatsoever. No, everything seems to be working fine. So with that, we'll continue from our position. And
frame shift drive charging.
This is a Class M Dwarf Star system we're moving into. We're just a few hops away from yet another
4,
Neutron Star.
3, 2, 1, engage.
Actually, just to switch things up a bit, I think what I might do is turn on the exploration mode, so we can have some guest players come in and sit in. Hopefully we won't get anyone too far away, because
warning, temperature critical.
or at least they can be as far away as you like, as long as it's not lagging out.
Fuel scooping complete.
Let's just see here. Let's go to our remember, if you're joining, to turn on your voice comms audio, because I have no other way to speak to you easily. I can type certain things, short messages in, but yeah, I'm wearing a VR headset, so I'm spinning my head around constantly, like so, and I don't really know where my keyboard is. So best just to keep things simple. Just you let me use voice comms with you, and you can type away to me all you want. Okay. Pressing it.
Frame shift drive charging.
Yet another indoor star.
Four, 3, 2, 1, engage. Fuel scooping.
About the VR headset gear, it seems like an increased, following Christmas this year, an increasing number of people are using VR, but we're still about 60-40 in favor of those using keyboard or controlling the monitor. versus the VR headset. So there is an increasing number of people with VR headsets who definitely can relate and will want to converse through the internet like it was a telephone, but
Fuel scooping complete.
we're not quite there yet in terms of an outright majority. But it's common enough now. People should be expecting some of us not to want to type every message to other users. Voice communication is inherently faster anyway. You can always talk faster than you can type.
Frameshift drive charging.
Yellow-orange star coming out.
Four, three, two, one. Engage. Fuel scooping. Fuel scooping complete. Frameshift drive charging. Four, three, two, one. Engage.
Definitely into the main sequence stars again of the Orion Spur. We are definitely growing closer and closer to Earth.
Fuel scooping.
Terrain is becoming more and more familiar.
Fuel scooping complete. Frameshift drive charging. Four, three, two, one. Engage. Fuel scooping. Warning, temperature critical. Fuel scooping complete.
Take a quick peek outside here and survey some of the damage to the ship. Holy crap. Oh my word. Decals on this thing are gone. Needless to say, cannot tell who the ship is representing. Well, look at that. You can tell where the decals are supposed to be. They're just not there anymore. There's a rickety barge. I'm just not sure it's going to make it back to the core systems anymore. Free jumps to our
Frame shift drive charging.
Not to mention the fact the system's damage is starting to tally itself up, and well.
4, 3, 2,
I'd really like to be able to dock at a station at some point. There is a Japonian depot coming up at the very end, but
warning, temperature critical. Fuel scooping complete.
Doesn't look like we have any big gas giants in this system. There is, however, an asteroid belt. That might be interesting for a while. But at the moment, we are headed towards a new star system.
Telepresence crew member connected.
Hello there.
Hey, how you doing?
Pretty good.
Pretty good.
So, where are you calling from?
Where are you calling from? Sorry?
Sorry, I'm hearing an echo.
Oh, give me 1 second.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Must have the speaker turned on fairly loud. You're not using headset.
There we go. Can you hear it now?
Testing. No, it should be good now.
There we go. What's up?
So, where are you calling from today? I'm in Ottawa, Canada.
I'm in U.S. Florida.
U.S. Florida. Okay. So a lot warmer there today.
Yeah, weirdly it's raining. It's kind of rainy weather right now.
Yeah, it's minus 30 here today, so I'm just trying to stay indoors as much as possible. Dirty.
I don't know how you guys do it, man.
30 below. It's well, here in this part of the country, this is a pretty southernmost reaches of Canada. It doesn't get much lower than, like, if it goes down to minus 30, it stays there for about a week. My home province is Manitoba, where if it goes down to minus 30, it goes down to minus 30 for 3 months. So for me, this is kind of like warmer. This is a cold snap in a warmer climate.
Well, we had a change here in Florida.
What kind of change?
Well, it was it's always hot here, and winter came around, and winter was really cold.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was really, really cold. So,
not good.
But right now it's all good. Well, right now it's all fine. It's just a little breezy at night, and it's cold breeze.
Yeah, there's a lot of older Canadians like the winter there, right? They'll go to Florida.
Yeah.
They'll spend the winter there, and then come back to Canada when it's warm again in the summer. But I don't know. I've been paying close attention to Florida weather because I hear that the new SLS system just went vertical. That or SpaceX's the Falcon Heavy just went vertical at Cape Canaveral. So
yeah,
pictures look good.
We've been working on it pretty hard. So
yeah,
kind of a pride moment.
Yeah, well, it's exciting. Except, of course, they changed the goal again. They changed worlds back from Mars back to the moon. Every time Republicans get in, it seems they want to go to the moon, and Democrats want to go to Mars.
Yeah, it's because one's actually viable, the other one isn't. We can actually go to the moon. We can't really go to Mars just yet, in any good way.
Yeah, well, there's different. There's a nut bar. What's his name? He runs a small rocket company, and he was saying that he was the guy who authored the report for NASA on the how to go to Mars inside of 6 months for roughly half the GDP cost of what it took to go to the moon with the Apollo missions in the 1990s.
Yeah, it was kind of crappy that he used outdated data and not really. Everybody at where I work, I'm sorry, I'm a little tired at the moment. At where I work, have been like looking at it up and down. Are you talking about the crazy dude in Australia who has his own like private rocket company?
No, this guy's an American, but he wrote the I can't remember the name. It was the reference mission report or something for NASA. And he was, I wish I could remember his name. I'm terrible with names. Just cannot remember. But anyway, he's a bit of a nut bar, right? Like he talks about how you can get, you can go to Mars, and you don't need to necessarily have the return to orbit feature on landing because you can use 19th century technology to cause a chemical reaction that will take CO2 and return basically hydrazine. You can get oxygen out of it, but you can get hydrazine rockets lifting off from Mars with the atmosphere that's already there.
Yeah, 0.4.
Something like that. And so
yeah,
he said,
I haven't looked at the reference, but
yeah. Anyway, he was just saying, like, basically, oh, we can just go to Mars without, you know, being able to return to orbit necessarily on launch. And then NASA changed it a bit and said, look, to be safer, we would like to have, you know, plan B in case that doesn't work for some. Yes, of course it should work, but if something doesn't work, you can't fix it, right?
Right.
It doesn't matter how much something should work. You could be 100% sure that you can cause a chemical reaction, but it doesn't mean necessarily you're going back to orbit.
Yeah,
so,
once rocket engines aren't 100% reliable, so
no.
It's always that fact.
So, but anyway, he said according to all this, it should end up being. But I mean, the moon is one option. You could also have a gateway. Like there was the plan to have a station orbiting the moon, like Galileo in this game, which would let you have a gateway to other destinations in the solar system. Problem, I don't see what the problem is with the moon. Like you have 0.28 G or something on the moon to deal with. So you've got a tiny little bit of microgravity there, and you have a base. It's on the moon. It's in soil, all the rest of it. Plus you get access to those lovely H3 the Trrium deposits that are littered about the surface, which you don't get on Earth. And you still get your gateway to Mars. So I mean, I'm not really particular about whether or not we went to Mars or go to the moon. Pick a destination and go. But every time it changes from one administration to the next, of course, it ends up changing a lot of the goals. And it could always be 30 years away, potentially, if there isn't at some point going to be agreement on which destination you pick, right? So you want to pick one or the other, and then just do it.
Oh, I agree. I totally agree. It's very difficult, especially like because I work. I don't work at NASA, but I work at one of the facilities of NASA.
Right.
Like I'm not a NASA scientist. I'm an engineer.
You're an engineer, yeah.
So
I get it. I'm an engineer for the government of Canada, where I live.
Oh wow.
So
nice.
a software engineer, but still.
Oh, no, it's still an engineer. I mean, I work on rocket engines and the decoupler and decouplers and pyrotechnic ejections and all type of anything that has to do with fire and engines. I'm there. So.
Yeah, the closest I ever get to your field is probably robotics, but I mean, I haven't done anything in robotics in years, and I'm pretty much a software guy these days.
Okay. Yeah, well, it's always so annoying. Like we had it happened with not with SpaceX. It happened mainly with
Orbital.
No, the other one, Gemini.
Gemini.
The new one, Blue something. Their Gemini capsule that they were making that was going to land too.
Oh, okay.
They had like 12 design changes, and all called for optimal pressure when it came to engine recovery.
Yeah.
So we had to get an engine or make a bell that would preserve pressure as it rose up. So it took us about 4.5 weeks and a bunch of design changes, especially from the manufacturer, asking, please, we need to change this, we need you to change this, please, we need this change, this change, this change.
Yeah.
But essentially we settled on a bell, like what Rocket has.
Yeah.
With the tips of the bells of the bell are folded in at a slight angle with a little curve so that it preserves the pressure.
Okay.
It took us 4 weeks to do that, and they didn't want the design and ended up hiring somebody else.
Oh, you're kidding.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. And the design preserved pressure too.
Fuel scooping.
Huh.
Of course, I based my thing off of the space shuttle's engines, and I thought, what if you bring it down to a smaller scale?
Right.
And so we did, and it works. It worked, and they didn't want to use it.
Yeah, it's frustrating. Trying to get customers to agree on what they want themselves is often...
oh my God, that's the challenge.
That's the challenge of every engineer. It's the headache, right? You have to have salespeople in your organization that know exactly the right questions to ask. And, you know, you can always say the customer's always right, but it's the customer themselves, they quite often don't know what they want.
They don't even know what's right.
Complete.
What's that?
Where are we? I said they don't even know what they want.
No, exactly. In game here, we're in the blue quad. Uniform X-ray sector of the galaxy, and it is. Have you played the League extensively?
Well, I was one of the original backers. I've been playing since 2014.
Oh, okay, good. Yeah, I've been playing for 30 years of my life. I've been spending this game in one form or another. I was playing back in the day on the Commodore 64.
On the Commodore!
The wireframe graphics and all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The original 3D.
Yeah, so it's eaten up a huge segment of my life. It's a really, really solid. He's got a creation algorithm for galactic features that is second to none. And
I agree. Hey man, don't take this as an offense, but you know you sound a lot like Raymond from Everybody Loves Raymond.
Oh really?
I just realized that. Yeah, I was listening to your voice, and I remember I saw a comedy special with him on it recently, and he sounds just like you.
Well, I don't know. I've been listening to my own voice lately online. I never liked the way I sounded, but I've got a very, very tenor voice.
You got a calming voice. It's nice.
I don't
know. Maybe I'm just enjoying. I'm stoned out of my gourd, so maybe that's why I'm enjoying it.
More power to you. There was a guy on. I was listening to a Scottish fellow this morning who was talking about how, you know, with the Thargoid attacks that had happened starting December 15th. So they've been on for a couple of weeks now. How the bases that they have and the rescue ships in the systems. I've of course thousands of. I've been completely missed the Thargoid invasion, because I've been out in 6,000 light years across the cosmos exploring space so that I can qualify for Commander Palin's anti-Thargoid technology. And so I'm just heading back. I'm over 80%, I think, the way back now to Earth from where I was. So. But
you are. Hold on. You're in Blue Squad. Where were you before?
Oh, I went out middle of the Sagittarius Arm, so we were out in the Tai Louis sector.
Tai Louis?
Yeah.
Yeah, me and a couple of buddies that I wasn't a direct part of it, but like I ended up becoming a part of it. But you could join if you want. You have to just go online and look us up. It's the Canon Research Group.
Okay. Oh yeah.
You can go on. And,
yeah, I know all about that group. I've read some of your papers. There's been a couple papers that were cross-posted to the Wikipedia site, and I was reading them. So yeah. Exciting stuff.
Yeah, it definitely is. Actually, I joined you a little too late. We just passed by a system. Well, actually, it's a good thing because it would have messed you up, but. We passed by a system where I have a $300 million bounty.
Oh really?
That would have gotten you.
Yeah, that would have been problematic, really. But I don't know. there was these. I missed the whole Thargoid invasion, which I'm disappointed in because the Scottish fellow I was talking about earlier, he was talking about how you have to drop off your heat sink in the space station in order to dock, in order to rescue people, right? When they're on fire, and the space station's like been damaged by a Thargoid attack.
Right.
So he ejects the thing, and he talks about it being like this white hot ball bearing in a dryer, because you've got the thing spinning around doing damage while the space station gravity is sort of fluctuating in places, and this white hot ball bearing is floating around as the station orbits. In the game, it was just the most. His voice sounded, for some reason, a little bit like mine, but I couldn't stop laughing when I was hearing it. They tried to see, like, you imagine this like white hot marble like going around the dryer and colliding with meat, hearing it sizzle in the dryer. The picture he was drawing was kind of ridiculous. Anyway. Yeah, so we're about, let's see here. I made a star map, and there's, it's being cross-broadcast to YouTube. If you go back and have a look at some point, you'll see that there's a bridge of blue flags connecting neutron stars, which is my neutron star highway back into the core worlds. And,
yeah, it's talking about NGC.
What's that?
Is it the NGC group?
Yeah. Well, it's now been completed, so I've actually got all the way back to the main group past 6152 or whatever it was. And now we're actually in Blue Thwa for, I think, hang on, 1 or 2 more jumps. And then we're done with this whole sector, and then it goes back into Aucoks, and then we're in Fine Ring. And then that's it. We go back. We're going to enter at around somewhere between, excuse me, HIP 83630 and HIP 67873, or one of them. So one of those 2 stations will be one of the ones where I'll actually reemerge.
Hey, I haven't really done multi-crew much. So I'm actually wondering, what do I get out of doing exploring? Like, what do you actually get out of it?
Nothing. It's mentorship and education about like a part of the galaxy you might not have seen before, I guess.
Oh, I see. Okay. I was really just wondering, but I'm liking it. I'm liking it. I'm staying.
Yeah. So it's basically that's all that you'd get out of it. Or if you can take either the gunner or the engineer position if we get into a battle. Like right now, I get a bonus of 1 to weapons with you logged in the way you are. And I think you can target one of my cannons.
Yeah, I see. I sat on the gunner position just in case of anything.
Yeah. So, but the odds of us, I've checked on the EDSM.net map, and there's almost nobody out here with us. So. I mean, it's basically just you and me. But if you give me one more jump here, we're going to enter a neutron star system, and from there, of course, we'll be jumping 80 plus light years further back in towards Earth. So we'll just do that right now.
Frameshift drive charging.
It should only take a couple minutes. But always good to have a guest person logged in like this, because otherwise you don't. The other thing you get is you never really run into anyone out here, and you feel a bit disconnected from the game otherwise. I haven't actually seen any deep starports or bases since.
They're talking about the construction of 3 running all the way up to Colonia.
What's that?
They were talking about building 3 that run all the way up to Colonia.
Yeah, well, that's Colonia, but that doesn't really help this part of the galaxy.
No, 3 from the bubble to Colonia, 3 spread out.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Hang on a second. I'm just going to do a scan of the system, then we're going to enter the Neutron Star's jet streams. Nine select celestial objects, and I want to scan that. Oh, no,
Go ahead and do that.
Hang on a second. Whoa, did that wrong. What do we got here? We have to spin up again. I did something wrong. We stopped.
Frameshift drive charging.
3, 2.
Ready to engage.
Alright, give me a second, I'll be back.
Okay.
Four, 3, 2, 1. Engage.
Now, we will position ourselves thus. And now, we want to make sure we don't fall too far below.
Warning, frameshift drive operating beyond safety limits.
That didn't work out as I hoped it would.
Frameshift drive supercharged.
Excellent. Okay, let me know when you're back. You back? Okay, we're just going to go, in case you are back, we're going to do the jump. And I'm pleased to report we will get 83.9 light years out of this one big jump.
Frameshift drive charging.
Destination star system is Class K yellow-orange.
Four, 3, 2,
Here we go.
Engage. Fuel scooping.
A jumps to next Neutron Star target. FSD drive is at 74%.
Warning, temperature critical. Fuel scooping complete. Frameshift drive charging. Four, three, two, one, engage. Fuel scooping. Fuel scooping complete. Frameshift drive charging. Four, three, two, one, engage. Fuel scooping. Fuel scooping complete.
PD50. LLPD50. Not that one, not that one. And we have 5 jumps left.
Frameshift drive charging. Four, three, two, one, engage.
39 new objects. It's a big system.
Warning. Temperature critical. Fuel scooping complete.
Gas giant over here. Have a look at it. Heyo. Hear you doing something in the background, can't tell what though. Five jumps to go.
Frameshift drive charging.
Class K yellow orange star. Uh, 1921.
4, 3, 2, 1. Engage. Fuel scooping. Fuel scoop disengaged. Fuel scooping. Fuel scooping complete. Warning, temperature critical.
Looks like we might have lost the universe. Commander of the universe.
Telepresence crew member disconnected.
Correct. So, don't know what happened to him. Probably logged off. It's all good. Sounded like an interesting fellow. Especially working for that industry in Florida is something I really want to do. But such opportunities are much rarer in countries that don't have very extensive space programs, like Canada. Although we've had one a heck of a lot longer than Australia have. They just had theirs founded last year. Late last year. I think we'll make the 4 jumps that we need to make to get through the next Neutron Star. And then we'll likely break off for a bit.
Incoming message.
Send a friend request out his way.
Frameshift drive charging.
And make our way to the Class F star system. Turning off crew membership right now because
4, 3,
it doesn't make much
2,
sense to leave it on.
1. Engage.
3 jumps, we won't be in the game anymore, so may as well turn it off now.
Fuel scooping.
I think we crossed over 900 light years of space though in the last couple hours, so
Critical.
I think we've done fairly well. 4.5 in gaming session.
Fuel scooping complete. Warning, taking heat damage.
Oops. Console almost exploded in my face. That wouldn't have been good. No damage FSD. The critical system in the mix here.
Module malfunction. Frameshift drive charging. Frameshift drive charging.
How annoying!
4, 3, 2, 1. Engage.
Definitely want to see that gets fixed as soon as possible.
Fuel scooping. Fuel scoop disengaged. Frameshift drive charging. Four, three, two, one. Engage. Fuel scooping.
I believe we have one jump left and we are finished. This next series, notwithstanding the jump through the Neutron Star, we will also finish. Just so we're well placed for the next gaming session.
Fuel scooping complete.
We're definitely not going to go out that far. We had one jump to a Neutron Star facility.
Frameshift drive charging.
And from there, we will end the session. So with Neutron Stars alone, we'll have actually completed
4, 3, 2,
240 light years of progress,
Engage.
plus an additional 240 per, well, 230 per, in additional jumps per Neutron Star, so that should give us about 1,000 light years closer to home.
Warning, frameshift drive operating beyond safety limits. Module malfunction.
Come on.
Module malfunction. Frameshift drive supercharged.
Excellent. And what is our damage? 1%. But the 1% certainly do add up over time. Scanning up for other bodies in the system. There is a star, which could be used for refueling. And we will go there. Presumably, it looks like it's the right type. Maybe it's an M-red dwarf. No planets.
scooping. Warning, temperature critical. Fuel scooping complete.
.2 light years, so pretty good.
Frameshift drive charging.
Pretty good shot size. I know we could get this number over 100 if we could just jump.
4, 3, 2,
A few light years
1.
more.
Engage.
I think I had an Aspen Explorer that would jump 30 light years. If I could get that out here, I'd be jumping 120 light years every single time I hit a neutron star.
Fuel scooping.
So once again, thank you to all the subscribers on the App Refactored channel who are monitoring gameplay, which includes, of course, Frontier Developments. Special thanks to them. And to you, the other subscribers, and if you are watching for the first time and would like to continue watching these ongoing missions of the starships Gardica and Quantica, for the time being anyway, until I get my condo for the next major ship upgrade. Please subscribe yourself at youtube.com/AppRefactory. That's APPRE.
Fuel scooping complete.
FACTORY. In other words, App Refactory. Just as it sounds. Mass is landable. I think just for the sake of it, we'll try a landing there. And we'll end the gaming session on the surface of this unknown planet with unknown features and minerals thereupon. Perhaps we'll get lucky and score some niobium while we're down there.
Orbital flight engaged. Landing gear deployed.
Well, this isn't going well. there we are. Thanks once again, folks. So catch you on next time. Apologize for the bumpy landing. We're 5 jumps away from our next Neutron Star intersect, and we'll hopefully pick it up a bit later on this evening. Thanks once again. This is Commander Trium signing off.